Good morning. What does this say? Rabbeinu Tam Rashi stands for Rabbeinu Tam. Here you have a regular pair of tefillin. These I actually damaged. I pulled the straps out by mistake. I'll tell you, pretty much some guy, every day I used to come and put this tefillin on, every single day. One day I got here and the tefillin were too tight. Some guy you can see and you can tell it's not meant to look like this the night. Someone came and made it too tight. And then they didn't loosen it again. Why? Because they have a very small head, obviously, and they probably got annoyed that the tefillin was too big on them, wasn't comfortable, so they decided that they should make it smaller. Meanwhile, everyone else has to suffer, right? My head's not abnormally large. Even with my hair, it's not abnormally large. I put on tefillin in every synagogue, wherever I go, I put on tefillin. It always fits me. Somehow it always fits, right? This guy's the retarded guy, one who made it smaller. Anyway, so I tried to loosen the knot and make it bigger. I couldn't figure it out, so I tried to stretch the leather, and it ripped. They didn't fix it yet. I told them, they said it's fine, but no one ever fixed it yet. But anyways, that's why I've been starting to wear the Rabbeinu Tams, because the Rashis here are broken, right? Anyways, what's the difference between Rabbeinu Tams and Rashi? So first of all, what is Rabbeinu Tam? What's Rashi? So Rashi was a medieval commentator, someone who explained the Bible, the written and oral Bible. And Rabbeinu Tam was also a medieval, I think from the same type of time period. I don't know exactly, but also someone who expounded on and explained and the Bible. Rashi wrote an actual whole entire commentary that we have in most Bibles today. Like, if I could just, or here. Okay, so this is a Talmud, which is the Bible, the oral part of the Bible, right? There's more. This is a part of it. There's more. But here you could see on the inside, this is Rashi's commentary. He's so famous that he's even printed in the Bible, in the oral Bible, but not just the oral Bible, even the written Bible. Like right here, we have the written Bible, and you'll see also right here, Rashi. So Rashi has commentaries actually, it actually made it into the standard print of every Bible, written and oral. Rabbeinu Tam doesn't have a running commentary on the entire Bible like Rashi did, but he's the same type of person, meaning he's also from that era, writing and explaining the Bible. And maybe one difference I would say is that Rashi, never mind, no, I was going to say that Rashi, whatever, I was going to say something, but I don't think it's true, so I'm not going to. Okay, anyway, so what's the difference between Rashi tefillin and Rabbeinu Tam tefillin? So apparently, I don't know exactly, but apparently it has to do with the order of the parchments, which parchments inside the tefillin you put in where, or how you put them in. I don't know exactly. But there's different opinions about how to properly make tefillin. And today, when we want to refer to these two different types of tefillin, the two different ways of doing it, we call the one that most people do, we call it the Rashi way of tefillin. So it's a Rashi tefillin. And then Rabbeinu Tam is the other way of doing it. I found out yesterday, I shared the article from Chabad.com, Chabad.org or whatever. Apparently the Arizal or someone held that like Rabbeinu Tam tefillin is mandatory. It's mandatory. Like people today don't wear Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. They just don't. My father does. My father wears Rashi tefillin and Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. And a lot of people do. But most people don't. Most people never ever in their lifetime put on a Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. But I found out yesterday that it's actually mandatory, maybe. And not only that, because I've been putting on the Rabbeinu Tam tefillin yesterday and the day before, well, yesterday not, 2 days ago and 3 days ago. Yesterday I put it on in somewhere else, a Rashi pair in the middle of the street. I had a secular Israeli punch me in the face or slap me in the face. I don't know, he definitely hit me. He got all pissed that I put on tefillin after what he thought was sunset. That's literally why he was angry at me, because he thought I put on tefillin too late. Retarded, the guy, you know. Anyways, that also ties into Rabbeinu Tam. Why? Because just like we have an argument about how to make your tefillin, what's the proper way to do it, we also have an argument of what the Bible means when it says sundown. If you have until sundown for the day, right? The day is over at sundown, and now it's the next day at sundown, right? What does that mean? Does it mean when the ball of the sun dips below the horizon, boom, now it's the next day? Does it mean when it's fully dark, about 72 minutes later? Or is it somewhere in between, right? So there's a big range of opinions about when the day could be over. So Rabbeinu Tam, the same person that we're talking about the tefillin, he has his opinion about how to calculate the sunset when the day is over. And For him, it's 72 minutes after what we call sunset. So Friday night turning into Shabbos, it wouldn't be when the ball of the sun goes down beyond the horizon. It would be 72 minutes later when it's fully dark. That would be the start of Shabbos. You could take Shabbos in early. But Saturday night, according to Rabbeinu Tam, you can't light a fire when the sun goes down beyond the horizon. You would have to wait 72 minutes later, which my father does, by the way. My father, Saturday night, will not light a fire or drive his car or do anything like that, his phone, nothing, until 72 minutes after sunset, right? Friday night, though, he's not going to wait till 72 minutes to take in Shabbos because he wants to be careful, whatever. But there are people that drive on Friday night after what you call sunset. And that's always been the case. There's always been Jews who held, like Rabbeinu Tam. Even to the point where in Jerusalem, there was rabbis that were like really, really fighting over this. They were saying like, how can you guys drive on Friday after sunset? It's Shabbos. And the other rabbis said, no, it's not Shabbos. We hold of the Shkia of Rabbeinu Tam, right? They made a deal. I don't remember the exact conditions of the deal, but the rabbis who held Rabbeinu Tam agreed that in public they're not going to drive on Shabbos on Friday after sunset, and the other guys are going to have to give in whatever. I don't know what the deal was between the rabbis, but they made some kind of deal. My point with all this is that there's different opinions. Rabbeinu Tam is definitely a valid opinion, just as valid as every other opinion. And I'm personally a Rabbeinu Tam type of guy. I put on Rabbeinu Tam tefillins. I mean, I felt it powerfully. You could say it's because I have so much trauma from my Judaism, which is like the standard. You know, I grew up wearing Rashi tefillin. I never wore Rabbeinu Tam tefillin, so I don't have all the associated trauma, maybe, but I think it's way deeper than that, especially after learning that the Arizal says it's mandatory, meaning it's like there's some type of superpower to wearing Rabbeinu Tams, but no one does it. If you would ask a rabbi, should I wear Rabbeinu Tams, they will tell you to wear Rashi and then take them off and put on Rabbeinu Tams, to do both. I'm here to tell you don't need to do that. You don't have to wear Rashis. You can wear Rabbeinu Tam because in Torah, when you find differing opinions, if you don't know how to study Torah and you're just opening the book to see what the law is, yeah, you're supposed to pick one rabbi and just follow him. You know, like if you want to follow the Shulchan Aruch, you follow the Shulchan Aruch. But really, you're supposed to study the subject matter and see for yourself what makes more sense to you. Not like as a cursory reading, like you're supposed to go in depth as much as possible and come out however you think the sugya, the subject comes out, whatever the law would be, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to open up the Bible, written and oral, read all of it, see all the commentaries that have been written about it from then till now, and come out with what you think is the best thing to do, right? So for me personally, I'm saying I haven't studied the subject fully, but for me, and for anyone, I think you can follow Rabbeinu Tam. If you want to make Rabbeinu Tam your rabbi and say, I follow Rabbeinu Tam Shkia, I'm going to follow Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin, I'm following Rabbeinu Tam's my rabbi, that's totally kosher, you're allowed to. So this whole concept today that no one wears Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin without wearing Rashi, like I've never met someone that told me they only wear Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin. Never. I never heard of such a thing. People wear Rashi, and if they want, they'll also put on Rabbeinu Tam. I might be the first person ever. I'm saying I'm not going to wear Rashi tefillin, God willing, ever again. I don't want to. I have nothing against Rashi. Rashi is the greatest Torah commentary, Torah luminary that we ever had. He's the only one that's printed in every written Bible and every oral Bible. Meaning, we have the Bible has the written law and the oral law. There's only one commentary that made it into both in every normal print, and it's Rashi. So he's obviously the greatest of the great. But I don't think I have to follow his opinion on tefillin. So, God willing, I'll never ever wear Rashi tefillin again. I'm only going to wear Rabbeinu Tams because I feel more comfortable with Rabbeinu Tams. I don't know if it's my type of soul or, like I said, because I have trauma from the way I grew up. I can't be associated with anything that I grew up with. I don't know, but I prefer Rabbeinu Tams. Anyways, that's the end of my rant. But if you want, you can watch me put on tefillin. I don't know if you ever saw what a tefillin bag usually looks like, and here. So this is the shel yad. It's the tefillin of the arm. This you have on, people don't really see it. It's not meant to be seen. The tefillin of the head, they're meant to be seen. It's the glory of a man. It's meant to be seen. It's meant to instill fear in all of creation. We were always told as children, like a Jewish man is walking with his talis and tefillin, encounters a lion in the field. The lion bows down or runs away. You know what I mean? Like a man has talis and tefillin, and the animals are scared of him. Not because he's dangerous, but because powerful. We are the most powerful of all the beasts, you should know. Not because we have guns, because we have tefillin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu la'aniach tefillin. Okay, so at this point I can talk. Between putting on the arm tefillin and the head tefillin, you can't talk. So much so the Talmud says even the guy who talked between putting on his arm tefillin and his head tefillin, he can't go to the battle in the Jewish army because that sin is going to kill him. You have to be without sin to be in the Jewish army. I'm talking about the real Jewish army, with the biblical king and all that. Anyway, so this is supposed to be on your third eye, between your eyes, but above the hairline. Here, we do 7 around on the arm. Okay, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then there's different customs of how to wrap your hand. This is how my dad did it. We say, this verse, it's about God betrothing us, engaging us, marrying us, whatever. There's also a thing you say over here. You're supposed to say when you put this on, you say, I cannot translate all that for you right now. It's not too hard, but I'm saying every time I try to translate, I forget what I'm saying. It's easier when I can see the words. Anyways, you're going to see I'm going to write Shaddai on my fingers. So, so I said we're marrying God. It's a verse, but we're marrying God, and these are the wedding rings. You see, these are wedding rings. But not only that, again, there's very different customs. I don't know whose custom this is. I think it's the Minhag Ha'ari, the custom of the Arizal. But this is how my dad does it. You can see it says Shaddai. There's a shin here, shin, and then a dalid, and a yod, Shaddai. And that's it. This is the whole thing. Now, literally, really, a Jew, a Jewish male, wears the talis and tefillin all day. All day. Today we don't do it. Why don't we wear talis and tefillin all day? Why don't we wear tefillin all day? So they say we're not supposed to because we can't keep our mind pure. It's really, really bad to have an impure mind, but it's even worse to do so while wearing tefillin. So at some point, the rabbi said, listen, we're not going to wear tefillin all day. You could put them on when you pray, and then you take them off, because we can't keep our brains pure, our minds pure. But there are Jews today who do wear tefillin all day. You can see them walking around the old city of Jerusalem. Zilberman people, they're not the only group, I'm saying. But there are people who wear tefillin all day. Yeah. What should we do? Should we read some Zohar before I let you go? Let's pull out the chok. Where's the chok? Chok LiYisrael, Devarim. This is Sefer Devarim, the 5th book of the 5 books of Moses, right? That's what we're holding. The parsha is, I forget what it's called. It's the one after Rei, I think. It's in Mishpatim. Shoftim. Shoftim? Shoftim? Okay, Shoftim. It's like Mishpatim, close enough. Today I think is Yom Chamishi, Thursday. So for each day, the Chokle Yisrael gives you designated study that has to do with that day, if you want to get the day's energy. So we're going to skip to the part where he has the Zohar. And by the way, on Chabad's website, I've been posting the link, but they have actually the Zohar in English for each day of the week. It's a very short piece, and they have it in English. This is just the Hebrew translation of the Aramaic from the Zohar. So it's not, I'm saying it looks much longer than it is. It's just this and this. And this, and that's it. It looks longer because it has the translation into Hebrew. Zohar is not written in Hebrew. The letters are Hebrew here, but I'm saying it's the words are Aramaic, which is similar. It's like the feminine to the masculine. Hebrew is the masculine, and Aramaic is the feminine. And a lot of the words are very similar. It's just like one letter. You change one letter, you know. So, anyways, Pasach v'yamar, he opened and he said, and he's quoting from Psalms 51. By the way, the Hebrew and English Psalms, like the Jewish Psalms and the Christian Psalms, I'm just saying it's one off the numbers, so just keep that in mind. In the Hebrew Psalms, it's Psalm 51. My pesha, which is like an iniquity, a type of sin, I know, ani eda, I know. The chatasi and my chatas, my transgression, or a different type of sin, negdi samid, is opposite me or before me, always or constantly. Kama islain levinasha leistamira mechoivaihu mikame kochabrichu. So how much there is to a person, or son of man, person, to guard. Here, I want to show you this. You see this word? I wasn't sure what it meant, le'istamra. So I looked into the Hebrew translation and it says lehishamer. And you could see it's actually the same word, it's just the Aramaic changed it a teeny bit. What's lehishamer? It's shin mem reish, shomer. And if you see what's this, le'istamra, it's tough mem reish. The shin of shomer becomes a tough in Aramaic. That's what I mean, they're sister languages. They're the exact same language, but it's just like one letter off always. And then the prefixes and suffixes, you have to remember how to deal with that. But I'm saying the root of these two words are the same. One is shomer and one is timer, but it's the same thing. One is just Aramaic for the Hebrew. Get it? So anyways, how much is there for a person to guard himself from his obligations, from his sins, from sinning before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He, because after a person sins, Rashim Hu Chayvei Le'ela, they write his sins above, and it's not deleted, they don't erase it. Bar besukpa dis yufta sagya. Only with the power, it's only erased with the power of great return or great repentance. Like you say, like it's written in Jeremiah, chapter 2. Kiem tichabesi banesar v'tzar bilach boiris nichtam avoynei chulfonai. I don't know what that means. Unless you are washing with a neser and it's increased to you, but I cannot translate that. I don't know. Anyways, we're not going to do the whole thing. If you want to see it, you could go on Chabad, on their website. You could search up Daily Zohar, Chokle Yisrael, something like that. You could also find the links somewhere on my page. You can just Google Chokle Yisrael, Zohar, English, and it should come up right away. I like it. Why? Because it gives you a daily study schedule that's not random. It's not like someone said, okay, let's make up a study schedule. No, the greatest Kabbalists came up with a study schedule, which means like they knew for this week's Torah portion, for the first day of the week, second day, they knew each day the specific energy that you need to bring down, and that's hidden in the Bible and all the different parts of the Bible, the written, the oral, all the different parts. What you can study each day to tap in for that day's energy. That's why Chokle Yisrael is awesome. It's not just a random study schedule. It's exactly what you need for each day. Anyways, catch you later. This is what I try to show you. See, the tefillin of the head is supposed to be visible. The tefillin of the arm is not visible. That's between you and God. But the tefillin of the head is for everyone to see. And that's the pe'er of a man. It's like tiferes. Pe'er comes from the same root of tiferes. It's like glory or beauty. Tiferes is very hard to translate, but the pe'er of a man is his tefillin shel rosh, the tefillin of the head. Javes.